Today we're going to work on changing standard form equations in the form ax plus by equals c into slope-intercept form equations, which is this y equals mx plus b. My first example for you is this equation, negative 5x minus 2y equals 12. Your goal is to get y by itself. I've put the rules over here for you so that you can follow as we go. Since you're trying to get y by itself, the first thing you need to do is undo any of the adding or subtracting that's going on in the equation. Right now, y is being multiplied by negative 2 and added with negative 5x. We subtract, because it's negative, we add 5x to both sides. Don't forget to bring this negative down with the 2. It's negative 2y equals 5x plus 12. We put the 5x first because we're trying to get the equation in y equals mx plus b form, and we want the y first, the x term second, the plain old number third. Once we've gotten that equation, the next thing to do is to undo the multiplying or dividing second. Our y is now being multiplied by negative 2, so we're going to divide every term in the equation by negative 2. Please make sure to divide each one separately and use a fraction bar. The negative 2's cancel out. We get y. Bring down your equals. Negative 5 halves is the fraction result here. That's our slope, and we want it in a fraction. We do not want a decimal here. The 12 divided by negative 2 gives us negative 6. That's the y-intercept. Now that we've got that equation, y equals negative 5 halves x minus 6, we can go ahead and graph it. I've gone ahead and graphed it for you so you can see it, but I've got the equation as well. Y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, our negative 5 halves, b is the y-intercept, our negative 6. Notice how that negative in front of it makes that 6, that minus in front of it makes that 6 negative. So it crosses the y-axis at negative 6. We go up 5 and back 2. We don't have really enough room to go down 5 and over 2 without estimating. So usually you're going to go up 5 and back 2. Only one of the pieces can be negative. I have another example here. 28x minus 8y equals 20. Again, we're trying to get y by itself. Again, we undo the adding or subtracting first. Subtracting 28x because it's positive here. This negative goes with the 8. The 28 is positive. Its opposite sign is to subtract. Remember again to put the negative 28x in front of the plus 20 because we're trying to get our y equals mx plus b form. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and divide by that negative 8. Make sure, again, you're dividing each term separately. And when you get your result, it's this y equals 7 halves x minus 5 halves. Now, if you're not very comfortable with that, trying to graph it because our y-intercept is a mixed number, it might be easier for you to think about it as negative 2 and 1/2. Again, I've shown you the graph. It's much easier to graph it in this form than in the standard form. It crosses the y-axis at negative 5 halves, which is equivalent to negative 2 1/2. So you'll see I counted from the origin down 1, down 2, and 1/2. From there, I need to go up 7 and over 2. Because I'm starting at this negative 2 1/2, each time I count up 1, I'm going to end up in a half. That's negative 1 1/2, so that's 1. And there's another one, but notice it's in that negative 1/2 place. And another 1 takes us to another half place. And another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. That's 7 up. From there, we're going whole numbers. So straight over to the blue line, and then straight over here. But notice, please, that our slope brings us to this point, to 4 1/2. That is the correct point, and then we draw the line to connect them.